Hello, beautiful. Once again, happy Pride Month. If you haven't seen my last video, go ahead and exit this one and go and watch it. I did a really colorful, glittery kind of look for Pride. It was really bright and super glittery. Well, maybe not as glittery as like the festival look I did, but I mean, it was pretty close. Today, I wanted to do something a little more like natural looking, a little more like summery kind of vibes to it. Just something a little more like summer appropriate, I guess you could say. Which to me, like, you can go with any look that you want to. Like, a lot of people consider like the dramatic kind of smoky eye look to be more for like the winter time, but honestly, like, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. So anyway, I wore a faux freckle look last week when I went to work, and a lot of people really loved it. Like, my clients really loved it, the girls that I work with loved it, and a lot of my friends were asking how I did it. And it's honestly like really easy and really simple. But like a lot of the videos that I saw anyway, I tried to do like their techniques, and to me it was just like, it was either too complicated, like with a lot of steps, or it was like it just didn't work for me, or whatever the case may be. So I just decided to do my own video on it, and hopefully it makes it a lot easier for some of you out there, because a lot of the ones that I saw, like I said, were just too complicated, or it just didn't work for me. So anyway, I think I actually want to do one for Pride too. Maybe like a rainbow kind of look with it, or like a glittery one. I actually saw someone use like little pieces of like confetti glitter to do it. And then another one that I saw, they used henna, which was, I mean, I personally wouldn't use it, but I mean, I guess to each their own. So anyway, if this is something that you'd be interested in watching, hopefully I explain everything really well. So if you're interested in this kind of look, then just keep on watching. Obviously, like, the first step that I did was already did like my base makeup. I already did like my foundation and everything, but I haven't set anything yet, use like any powders or anything like that, because after you put on all the freckles, then you're gonna go ahead and set it with some translucent powder. So yeah, but let's go ahead and get started. So really the only products that I've been using was, I used the Anastasia Dip Brow, and I have the shade Ash Brown. You're gonna want to use like maybe like 2 or 3 different colors, just to make sure that like they're all like different shades, because obviously like real freckles aren't all the same colors. So I have the ash brown shade, and I also have soft brown in this little tester that I got of just the Brow Wiz one. And then I also have the Shade and Light Contour Kit from Kat Von D. I use that one to kind of like mix up the different freckles too. And also to use like the different like highlighting colors to just kind of like tone them down a little bit, or like use the contour shades to make them a little bit darker, or just set them or whatever. You're just going to want to use a eyeliner brush. So I would recommend, I think like Morphe has one, It Cosmetics has one, Real Techniques has one, Japanesque, obviously, Tarte has one. There's a lot of different brands that have them, so honestly it's just kind of whatever you have. Or I've even seen like someone use like a Q-tip, just took off like all the cotton from it and just use that. So it's kind of up to you, whatever you want to use. And really all I did was I just dipped it in the dip brow just a little bit. You don't want to go like too heavy with it, otherwise it's gonna be like super dark. And I mean, just make like random dots all over your face. And I usually like to keep them kind of like closer together, not so much like far apart from each other, like kind of like how you see in cartoons and stuff like that. And I go to about like the edge of my eyebrow and a little bit over here, not too far. And like as far down as like the top of my lip. And I have one little freckle over here, so I just make it a little bit darker. And you'll just want to go all over your cheeks and on your nose. And this technique's actually really good if you have like some acne going on, because you can just cover it up with the freckles, which is kind of nice. And I'll just lay down like some really dark ones first, and then just kind of like, you know, like sewing machine technique where you just kind of like poke at it. So first you'll go in with that ash brown color, whatever your darkest shade is, and then go in with that softer color just to give them more of like a variety. Okay, so next you can either use like the same brush that you were using or use like a clean one. It's kind of up to you. And just dip into that contour shade and just kind of go over and diffuse some of the freckles that you did. And then once you're done, you can just lightly dust over it with your finger, or even take your beauty blender and just kind of lightly tap over them, just to make sure that they're not so like, obviously where it looks like you just drew a bunch of dots on your face. And if you accidentally like erase all of them, you can just go back and do it again. And that's kind of the nice part about it, because even if they're like really faded, it just kind of makes it look like it's covered up from your makeup. So it's not really that big of a deal, but you can just like go over it again with your pencil or your dip brow or whatever you're using, and just kind of add some more, and just keep doing that over and over again until you get them the way that you want them to look. Okay, so after that's done, then all I did was just go over with some setting powder just to make sure that they stay in place. And then after that, you're just going to want to go in with some setting spray sprayed onto your beauty blender, and that'll really help to set those freckles and set, well, obviously to set all of your makeup. But honestly, I mean, that was really it. Like I said, it's very simple. It's really not that hard. I've seen some people use like a spoolie brush and kind of like graded it into their contour palette, which I tried that and that was a huge mess. And I've seen other people use like, I saw someone use like a pinhead needle and took the end of it, obviously not the sharp edge, but the other side, and made little dots that way if you wanted them to be a lot smaller. Really, it's kind of up to you. So whatever you want to do with it, just go for it. And if you have any suggestions of like other ways to do freckles, you can let me know in the comment section or on Instagram or wherever. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a comment, subscribe, recommend it to your friends, because a girl's trying to, you know, expand her subscriber count. So anyway, thank you again for watching this, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.